Okay, welcome back. In this part of the lecture, we are going to be talking about the Mexican-American War. Essentially, the United States quest for California and the war that led up to it. I hope that you went ahead and you watched the crash course video on American expansion and manifest destiny. But I want to go ahead and just make sure that we're all on the same page here. And just as a quick reminder that, the U.S. has now almost gone to war with Britain over Oregon. It has now annexed Texas, right, in 1845, almost 10 years after Texas got its independence. And so now that they've got these two things under their belt, the United States is really kind of hoping that Mexico is going to make good on that threat and fight for, to take up more Mexican land. Essentially, what's going on here is the United States wants California. It already has, a high number of areas that are very well developed. It has access to the Pacific Coast trade, great climate, all of those things. And lots of people are moving to California from the United States. Now, the problem here with Mexico and the United States is that the United States and Mexico are haggling. They are debating over where the border with Texas really is. Is it on the Rio Grande or is it on the Nueces? And Polk, hoping to kind of instigate a fight, is going to send troops to the north of the Nueces River, right across from, Mexican troops on the other side of that body of water. So essentially when, trying to bait the Mexicans into starting a fight doesn't work, the U.S. is going to offer to buy California and New Mexico, but Mexico's going to say no. So, in 1846, Polk sends Zachary Taylor to essentially pick a fight, like I said. And if lives were endangered, well, then if American lives are endangered, then they're going to have a right to fight. And they do. So, on April 25th, 1846, Mexican troops are going to cross over the Rio Grande and attack. Right, 11 people are killed, and this is where Taylor gets that quote, Zachary Taylor: "American blood has been shed on American soil." Now, all of this is sort of leading up to more and more American patriotic fervor. But there is one man, at least, that is not so quick to believe all the hype. A very young congressman from Illinois named Abraham Lincoln is not so quick to believe everything that is being said. And so he proposes a resolution to show exactly where the American blood was shed on American soil. Because he pretty much believes and is very suspicious that that spot would be on disputed territory, not in fact on American soil like Taylor has claimed. The problem with this is that, even though a lot of Northerners don't like this idea of going to war with Mexico, because they believe that this is just another ploy to spread slavery, American fervor prevails and manifest destiny prevails, and the war is going to start. So, Polk goes after New Mexico and California. By August, the U.S. had taken control of California's key ports and New Mexico. Essentially, they're formalizing this land grab. The treaty with Santa Anna, who has been exiled in Cuba for some time now, the treaty with Santa Anna that they agree to here is, they're going to allow Santa Anna to come back to Mexico. And end this conflict once and for all. Well, lo and behold, Santa Anna decides to ignore the deal that he goes back on the deal with the United States. And so as a result of that, Polk is going to order Winfield Scott to invade Mexico City. So on September 13th, Mexican troops surrendered within 3 days of Winfield Scott's arrival. And so what we have here is the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which takes place in February 1848. Now, this officially ends the Mexican-American War, and it gives the United States officially Utah, Nevada, California, Western Colorado, parts of Arizona, New Mexico, and set the border at the Rio Grande. So for all of this, Mexico is going to get $15 million. Now, there are people that don't agree, that don't like, everything that's happening here, such as in the case of Wilmot. And I want to mention this briefly before moving on to the rest, because the Wilmot Proviso, before the war actually took place, the Wilmot Proviso had actually tried to eliminate slavery in any possible newly acquired land from Mexico, but it did not pass. All right. So this is just sort of as a reminder that the divisions over slavery are pretty much becoming more and more prevalent. It is going to inflame anti-slavery talks. It is going to inflame slavery supporters. And so, unfortunately, that Wilmot Proviso does not pass at all in Congress, even though it tried to eliminate slavery from before the war was even over. So, people knew where this was headed. They had a little bit of an idea what was going to happen in the future. And so, as you can imagine, the talks over slavery support and anti-slavery support are going to become louder and louder and louder as these lectures progress. And for more on that, we're going to be looking at the different varieties of anti-slavery support and the reasons for the justification of slavery in the United States at this time. But for that, you got to click on the next lecture video. All right, so I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.